Okay, it's the top of the hour, which means it is showtime. Good morning, everybody. Again, Mike Anderson with American Independent Marketing here. We are appreciative of your time and especially appreciative of the time that Ed Federici, the Managing Director for Phoenix, is making available to us today so that he can talk about their personal retirement choice product. So again, we are in lecture mode, so you are muted. Please hit that 2 or 3-digit audio PIN number. That will allow us to unmute you at the time when it gets time to be asking questions. So that said, good morning, Ed. Welcome, and I'm going to turn it over to you and let you take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Can you hear me okay before we get started?
Got good sound. Very good.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, everybody, for your time today. We're really excited to, number one, do this webinar because I'm going to, well, if you're not familiar with Phoenix, I'm going to go through Phoenix, our history, and some of our financials so you get to know us a little bit better. But I'm going to spend the main part of this presentation going through our new product, exclusive limited distribution, and with your affiliation with AIM, you will have access to this new product. So I'll go through how the product works, some of the mechanics, but I'm going to give you some context and perspective, where to take this to, and some pretty cool sales ideas that you can use, and we have actually agents using that are generating business in the product. So why don't we get started with the Phoenix companies. As you can see by this slide, we've been around for an awfully long time with roots dating back to 1851. We're known for innovativeness in the insurance space. You can see we, back in 55, had the first reduced premiums for women. We had first lower rates for non-smokers and introduced the first survivorship life policy back in 82. We were known in the 20s up through 1950 as the retirement income company, but we are probably most famously known for being the carrier that insured and paid the claim on President Lincoln. By the way, all of these factoids, including some of our numbers, which I'll go through in a minute, are available on a 2-pager, front and back, that you can present to your clients. And I have to tell you that this factoid about Lincoln, it just is gold in that, number one, everybody knows who President Lincoln is, so he's easily identifiable. And number two, it just speaks to our history. Wow, the company has been around that long. So we have a great one-pager that you can order after the call, and we're happy to get that over to you. And those of you who are architectural buffs, one little factoid for you too. I'm calling you from this building on the banks of the Connecticut River in Hartford, Connecticut. Phoenix had this building built back in the 50s. This is also, in terms of firsts, right? We're talking about innovation. This is the world's first 2-sided building. It's a historical building. You can see there's 2 sides, and it's known as the boat building. So an interesting fact there. So let's get into some other innovation on our side. When we launched our fixed index annuity suite, it was back in 2008. Okay, so if you can recall going back to that point in time, I think it's fair to say that, in my mind at least, there's one word that described that whole period, and that was chaos. The marketplace, it was the worst market since the Great Depression, just chaos in the economy. So we're launching our product lineup amidst this chaos. So we decided to be innovative yet again, and there's 2 things that I want to make mention to you. Number one, for you, anybody out there, whether you're at the IMO level, if you're an agent out in the field representing our products, you are covered by our embedded supplemental E&O policy. That means nothing for you to write, nothing for you to sign, nothing for you to pay. We went out in the midst of this chaos, and due to our financials, we were able to obtain this supplemental E&O at no cost for you. That's a story in and of itself. I won't go into a lot of details there, but that's just speaks to our financial wherewithal. So what this does, this covers you and guards against any potential insolvency of us as a carrier. Once again, 08, we're a lot further from that shore, but this policy is still in place and covers you. So I thought I'd make mention of that. Now for your clients, once again, think about the mindset of what was going on in 2008. I don't know of any other carrier that offers this, and that is when the assets come into our fixed index annuity suite, they go into a separate account. They don't go into the general account. Why? Because if they're in the general account, they're at the risk of what? General creditors. With a separate account, these assets are set aside and they're segregated, providing an additional level of safety and security for our policy owners. So 2 levels of protection. One for you, the embedded E&O, and then for your clients, the separate account. Now, I should tell you that we have $13 billion of reserves. We have $780 million of surplus, and there's a couple of terms. Solvency ratio, RBC, they mean the same thing. Solvency ratio, or RBC, risk-based capital. They measure for every dollar of liabilities do you have, what do you have set aside? So it's a ratio. I think the threshold's like, 200 is what state insurers want to see as a bare bones minimum. Phoenix has an RBC ratio of 347. So that means for every dollar of liabilities, we have $3.47 set aside. So once again, that coupled with our statutory results, we have very, very good financials backing our promises and these guarantees. So I'm sure every marketer that approaches you goes through the risks that your clients have in retirement. For me, it really comes down to we want to protect and maintain your client's lifestyle given all these risks. So it's important to talk about these. It's important to plan for it. We think it's important to have a four corners offense in approaching your clients. Why? Well, number one, you don't have to be a product pusher, right? You can have a dialogue with your client and find out what's most important for them. And it's also great to have a bunch of products that you can then go to depending on what your client is telling you is most important to them. So our four pillars of our four corners approach are, one, having something that addresses accumulation and protection, right? So market's been volatile, but the market's been hitting new highs. So what have your clients been asking you? I want to participate in that. They've somehow forgotten the worst two, bear markets they've witnessed in the last, 12, 13 years. They've forgotten the pain they went through, and they want a piece of the action. So we have products and solutions that can help them with accumulation and protection. Income. This is probably our, this is our most popular product is in this space. It's the product that really put us on the map back in when we launched our product suite. But people want guaranteed sources above and beyond Social Security and pensions, right? Family protection. Like, my mom is 83 years old, and she's been talking to us kids about what can I leave you guys. So having some sort of solution or strategy that addresses legacy issues. And this is not an insurance product. This a life insurance product. This is an annuity product that has a guaranteed roll-up on an enhanced death benefit. Important pillar. And finally, personal care. So this really speaks to if your client can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs, or worse yet, they're confined to a nursing home. Having some product or solution that addresses that need is critically important. So here's our four corners offense. And before I go into our product suite, I just want to give you some background information of our thinking of why did we launch this new personal retirement choice. Okay, so we obviously were working with our actuaries. We were working with the space as well, and I'm going to give you some survey results. But this was our product lineup, right? We had our personal income annuity, which maximizes income for your clients. We first came to the market with our Index Select Gold bonus product, which is a premium bonus product. And then we launched our Personal Protection Choice product, which is a combo product. It's kind of all-in-one. So as we were working with the product, we went out to the field and we said, this back in 2013. This has been under the works for many months now. We asked, kind of looking in a rearview mirror, what have been the most important features on the annuity side for you? And you can see that the respondents, 62%, said guaranteed income is most important, followed by having one product that addresses a multitude of my clients' needs in retirement. 24% of the respondents said that's most important. So guaranteed income and then having an all-in-one product that addressed multiple needs. So you can see our income maximization strategy focused on guaranteed income and our combo products. I think we hit the nail on the head in terms of our previous product development efforts. Then we asked the space, the marketplace, if you had a clean slate and you were designing a brand new product, what's most important to you at this point in time? So once again, you can see a little shift here. Accumulation features, 33% of the respondents said that that was the most important feature, followed by guaranteed income at 28%. So with that, we went to work, and we're pleased to introduce our Personal Retirement Choice offering. It is one of, if not the best, one of the best accumulation plays in the marketplace today. And what I can tell you, it is the best upfront premium bonus product in the marketplace today. So this is our brand new exclusive limited distribution, and because of your affiliation with AIM, you get access to this product. And you can see it's color-coded, right, because we have this four corners offense: accumulation, income, family, personal care. So this focuses primarily on accumulation, and also we have a wonderful optional income rider, and I'm going to show you how that works. So let's just very quickly review our product lineup. Personal Retirement Choice, our best accumulation play, best upfront premium bonus in the marketplace today, up to 15%. Personal Income Annuity, this is our income play. So there's two riders here, Income Today or Income Tomorrow. And your clients would be looking at up to a 45% bonus on the income benefit base for Income Today, or a 14% simple roll-up on our Income Tomorrow rider. And you're going to find in both cases the income on this is very, very difficult to beat on a quoted basis. And then our Personal Protection Choice. This is a great product for, say you have a client that really needs to stretch their assets, right? Maybe they don't have life insurance. And they need to make the most of what they have. This has an income rider, Income Today or Income Tomorrow, same story. They have a personal care protection on this particular product, where if they're confined to a nursing home, we take the income and multiply it by 250%, paid to your client for 5 years if they're confined. And then last, we have the best kept secret in the annuity business. This is the best enhanced death benefit in the business today. It rolls up at 10% up to age 70, rolls up an additional 5% from 71 up to age 85, and get this, it's paid as a lump sum to the beneficiary. So the point of the matter is we've added this product, which I'm going to spend the most of today on, but we really have, what you, we have a product suite that allows you to basically point and shoot to what your client wants. You don't, once again, you don't have to be a product pusher. If your client's saying, yeah, this sounds good, but I want income, we have a terrific income story. If our client says, nursing home sounds good, protection, we have the Personal Protection Choice that you can use. So once again, think of the four corners offense. This is how our product line stacks up. So I'm going to spend today talking about Personal Retirement Choice. This is once again our growth and income strategy. It's brand new. It's doing great. It's rapidly becoming our fastest selling annuity behind our personal income annuity. That just is our flagship and has always been our top seller. So let's go through some of the mechanics on how this particular product works. Issue age from 0 to 80. On the low side, we accept $15K. On the high side, $1 million. We make exceptions on both sides of the equation here. And the accumulation on this, depending on your state and whether or not the client elects the income rider, they'd be looking at day one in their account, anywhere from an 8% to a 15% upfront premium bonus added to their account. We have 5 index accounts. I'm going to show you, very new for us. We have 2 uncapped strategies which really allow you and your client, if they're saying, hey, I want to be part of the market, this really allows us to harness the market upside potential with zero chance of losing any money due to market movements. The income option, this is great in that it's optional. So if your client's just looking at accumulation, there's no charge, okay? If your client's saying, it'd be great to turn on an income stream down the road, we have this optional GMWB at a cost of 85 basis points based on the income benefit base that they could turn on. And how this would work, let's use an example. Say a client has $100,000, okay? And they're in a state that they have access to the 15% bonus. So on day one, they'll have $115,000 in their account. Day one, 15% return. That number, 115, is their account value, but it also creates the income benefit base. All right? So that income benefit base then grows a guaranteed 8% simple for 12 years with the option to restart it for another 12. Now I'm going to get to some examples and sales strategies of how to use this product. I think you're going to be quite impressed. So let's just look. I know you guys are national. We have most of the states covered. We just got Texas a few weeks back, just got Illinois, In Florida, if you're in Florida, we did something very unique. If your clients are 64 and under, there is an option for them to get at the 15% bonus if they elect the income benefit. Now, if they're saying, you know what, I don't want to pay anything, I just want the accumulation play, it's a 12% bonus for these states. Just pull out some key differences here. So the income benefit base, kind of across the board, rolls up at 8% simple. The surrender charge period. So how are we able to get at a 15% premium bonus? You have a little bit longer surrender charge period than compared to our normal 10% chassis. So it's 2 years longer, and it's a 12-year surrender charge period. Obviously, in these states, it's a little bit less, and it's a 10-year surrender period. The penalty-free. So for most states, it's going to be at 7%, but also keep in mind it's 7% of the premium plus the bonus. Okay? So in these states where, once again, in these states, an 8% bonus is really, really good. So don't feel like you're missing out on anything. In these states, the 8% is very, very strong. And you'll notice this says higher ABA payout factors. What does that mean? In lieu of getting the 15, they're going to get an 8, but they're going to have higher income. And they have a 10-year chassis. Okay? So that's some differences kind of across the board in terms of the states. So we have 5 crediting strategies. We have a monthly point-to-point. Yes, sir.
Hang on, just Mike. Hang on for 1 second. Are there? It looks like the product's not available in California. Are there other states it's not available in?
California and Pennsylvania are 2 large states.
Okay. Any others?
And we're working on them.
All right. So you're trying to get it in there. Then it's not a done deal. You're just working or negotiating with the states. Then.
Yeah, some states, California, they just take forever to review a product. I can tell you that Pennsylvania, it will not be approved in Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right. Very good. That was the question that we had. So thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. And by the way, stop me at any time. That's great. So the crediting strategies, we've done something new here, but you've got the typical monthly point-to-point on the S&P, a 1 year on the S&P with a cap, a 2 year with a cap, but then we've added these uncapped strategies, and I'll tell you exactly what they are. There's a 1 year on the S&P with a 30% participation rate, and a 2 year on the S&P with a 40% participation rate. So that's brand new for us, and my thoughts are that it really allows you to harness that upside of the market. Now I'm going to get into some a little bit more advanced strategies, but before we do that, I'll just show you kind of a more basic example of who this might be right for. So this is Anthony. He is age 60. Say he's got 100 grand, just to keep it simple, and he's got 2 goals. One, I want to protect and accumulate, and then I'm going to continue to work. I might work part-time. I might turn on Social Security, but I'm not going to turn on the income until I'm 72. But I like the idea of having a secure income stream down the road. So he puts 100 grand into our personal retirement choice and elects the GLWB, which has a cost of 85 basis points. So let's just peek at what that income will be like, and I'll show you a specific, I'll go to a quote and show you how this works. So he's going to turn on the rider at age 72. His annual income benefit is going to be $12,284. So remember, he put in 100 grand. That's a 12.3% GMWB. So I think I said up front, the real sizzle here is that 15% immediate return through the premium bonus, but I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised with just how strong this guaranteed income stream is as well. I mean, to be able to tell a client, hey, I'm going to protect your downside, you're going to get a 15% bonus, and oh, by the way, down the road, we're going to turn on a 12.3% GMWB. We have a very strong growth and income story here that, as I said, I think you're going to be equally impressed with the growth and the income side of the equation. All right, so lots of bars on this chart here, so let me go through this piece by piece. Remember, Anthony's 60. He put in 100 grand. Here are the values at year 12. Okay, so let's look at the first bar. This is under the terms of the contract. We have to provide minimum guaranteed accumulation value, assuming worst case scenario, 0 growth for 12 years. The only thing that's coming out are the fees. Okay? So we have something called the TGV, which is essentially just 87.5% of the starting premium. Okay? So that's under the terms of the contract. Accumulation. For the first time, we are able to not only show you, but illustrate back-tested results. We put the assets into the one-year point-to-point. So his 100 at the end of year 12 with zero downside risk has grown to $151,484. So really strong upside potential. And remember, the benefit base, he's elected the income rider. So his 100, he starts with 100. He's going to get 15 grand to start. That creates his benefit base, which rolls up at 8% simple. So at year 12, it's $225,400. That's his income benefit base. There's no cash value, but we use that to calculate the income stream. So that's how we're going to, that's his benefit base. And we use what's called an ABA factor. That's an actuarial term to get at this 12.3% guaranteed income stream for life, no matter what happens in the market, no matter how long Anthony lives. The fourth column shows off just how strong that income is on a cumulative basis. So remember, he starts taking income at 72. At 75, he would have taken $49,136 of cumulative income. At age 85, he would have pulled out $171,976 in guaranteed income. And should he live to an advanced age, which is not out of the question these days, 95, $294,816 in guaranteed income. So you have a guy who's gotten a 15% upfront premium bonus, has grown his account very, very strongly at the end of year 12, and should he live to an advanced age, he's going to get back nearly 3 times his starting premium in guaranteed income. So once again, very, very strong growth in income story. So I was at a meeting, and I was actually in Vegas when we first rolled out this product, speaking to about 500 agents. And I was also working a booth, and I had an agent come up to me after the presentation who also does advisory work. So he sells mutual funds and managed accounts. And he said to me, Ed, this product, this is a mutual fund killer. So that got me thinking. I get the question, Ed, where could I take this product to? What's the low-hanging fruit for this product? So I was thinking and did a little research. I think the IRA rollover space, and this may be intuitive to you, but the IRA rollover space would be a perfect opportunity to present this particular product, okay? And here's why. It's a booming market, and there's obviously a little joke in there because it's the baby boomers that are driving this, but it's a rapidly growing marketplace. In 2012, $393 billion were rolled over. That's projected to grow to $575 billion with a B dollars in 2016. Clients who roll over assets, 50% of them have 100 grand or more. 25% of them have $250,000 or more. So that makes sense. That fits really nicely with the assets that we see coming into the fixed index annuity space. It's a great opportunity for us to grow our market share. And I'm going to tell you a personal story. I have a friend who is 58 years old. We were at a dinner party talking about retirement, and she said, I said, Deb, what have you done with your retirement assets? And she said, you know what, I'm so thrilled because I'm all set. I said, oh, great, what did you do? Now, so she's 58. She's a couple years away from retirement, and her entire life savings for retirement. She said, well, you know what, I just rolled the assets over. I just did a rollover, and I am all set. I said, great. What did you do with the assets? And she said, well, I rolled them over into a managed account. I said, okay. Are you doing a bond ladder? Are you doing fixed income? Like, what are you doing? And she goes, no. I put them all in American funds. And I'm not slamming American funds. American Funds is a good firm. But here's somebody who's 58 years old and just put her entire life savings and retirement savings into a managed account in American funds. So my next question to this 58-year-old who is very, very highly educated, I said, Deb, where did you put the assets? What funds? She thought for a minute and looked at me and she said, I don't know. So this could be a typical client who's rolled over their assets. They don't know what they've done, and they've forgotten the past, right? So I'll tell you what they've done with the assets. This is where what people do with their assets when they roll the money over. They put them in stock and bond mutual funds, individual stocks, ETFs, and managed accounts. Bottom line, folks, 78% of the assets are exposed to the market. And like my friend they probably don't have a clue of what they've done, and they've forgotten that the pool has been drained on them twice in their lifetime with 2 significant bear markets. So my friend, 2 years away, just rolled the assets over, most likely exposed to the market, right? Put herself at risk. The other side of the coin is there's folks who just, they're paralyzed by fear. Maybe they were over-paralyzed by what the bear markets have done. 14% of the assets have been moved into savings and checking accounts or money market funds that are earning slightly north of 0. So this is a huge opportunity for us. This is an oh, by the way question as well. If you're talking to a client, by the way, how are you protecting your, if you've rolled over your 401k, your 403b, your federal savings program, what have you done with the assets? Have you mitigated market risk? Very simple question. So that's an idea as to where you can take it. Low-hanging fruit, the qualified space, and here's a sales strategy that folks are using. And I would say that with these strategies that I'm about to share with you, maybe your client just goes with a plain vanilla, 100 grand, let's go with the rider, right? I would suggest you run these quotes as well and present it alongside. A lot of folks are getting traction with these sales ideas because they show off the flexibility of the product and liquidity of the product, and it provides a client a choice. So this first sales strategy, this could be somebody who's, they want to do a rollover, and they say to you, you know what, I don't want to pay a fee. I just want to accumulate, but I don't want the income. So this first sales strategy is called the 4% freebie. And here you have a client who's age 65. They have 100 grand, and they said, you know what, Ed, I don't want the rider. I don't want to pay a fee. Great. So you're not going to get 15%, but you're going to get a very, very strong 12% upfront premium bonus. And what I've done is I've taken the 100 grand and I've split it between the 2 uncapped strategies, the 1-year point-to-point with a 30% participation and the 2-year point-to-point with a 40% participation. Once again, I can't reiterate enough, the client has not elected the rider, and so there is no charge and nor a fee for this particular strategy. So remember up front, I said there's a penalty-free withdrawal privilege. Here's what you do. You take the 100 grand, you put it into the personal retirement choice, and you create a 4% income stream, the 4% freebie. And you take out 4% each and every year out of the account. And we do this for 19 years. That's $76,000 has been taken out under the penalty-free, okay? That's 76% of the starting premium gone by this 4% income stream that we've created at no charge for the client. So let's take a peek. So this is an important column, right, is the withdrawals taken out each and every year. And let's just take a sneak peek. When they're 85, 20 years later, let's go over to the other important column, which is how's the accumulation of this product been. So we'll take a look, and when they are 85, they have 102,921. Started out with 100, they have almost 103,000 left after taking out 19 years of 4% or $76,000. Once again, I'm showing off 2 things. Flexibility, even though there's a surrender charge, we've created a 4% income stream, okay, at no cost. And they have more than what they started with this particular product. Okay, also on the qualified side, like my friend, right, at a certain point, she's 58, but down the road, when she turns 70 and a half, she's going to have to, the IRS is going to require her to turn on her RMD, required minimum distribution on the product. Why is that important? $5 trillion. That's with a T. You have, let's just look at this chart. You have folks that are 60 to 69, and they have qualified assets. They control $1.5 trillion, and they're going to need your help, your solutions, your strategies to start taking RMDs. And like my friend, what do you think the assets are? When they roll them over, they put them in the market, or they're putting them in vehicles that are earning north of 0, just north of 0. So you got $1.5 trillion in the hands of folks 60 to 69. Once again, this could be an oh, by the way question. How are you protecting and planning for your RMDs? On the other side here, you have folks that are either, the only difference is folks that are fully or partially retired. These folks have $3.5 trillion in qualified assets where they're either starting to planning or are taking their RMDs. And once again, where do you think the assets are? Simple, oh, by the way, question. Are you protecting your assets in the vehicles that you're taking the RMDs from? So great opportunity for, this is just a huge opportunity from a dollar perspective. So in this example, I have a client who is 69. They have $275,000 that they've rolled over, and they have to start preparing for their RMDs. They said, you know what, Ed, I don't want to pay for the income. That's fine. You're going to get a 12% premium bonus instead of the 15, but there's no charge. So I've taken the $275 and I've put it into our uncapped 2-year point-to-point with a 40% participation rate. So let's look at what this. Let's look at what we've done here. So they're not. They have not elected the rider, but they have to take RMDs. So we use the penalty-free withdrawal privilege. And by the way, I've just used an online calculator. You can go to Fidelity, T. Rowe Price. There's lots of calculators out there, and you can figure out what their required minimum distribution would be. And in this particular case, I just plugged in through our penalty-free withdrawal privilege their RMDs each and every year, and I'm taking those out. No cost to the client. There's no income rider. So they've taken out, let's do a snapshot at age 79. They've taken $88,000 out in RMDs, a little bit more. And at 79, their account has grown to $318,399. So they've taken out $88,000, and yet at the end of the day, they're $43,000 higher than when they started. As a reminder, they started at $275. So you've satisfied this RMD requirement at no charge. There's no income rider, and you've grown that $275 after all this has been taken out to over $318,000. Once again, highlighting flexibility and the great growth potential of this product. And I just going back to what started all this is the agent telling me this is a mutual fund killer. So there's a couple of ideas without turning on the income rider. So my friend, once again, I'm not bashing managed accounts. I spent 20 years in the advisory business. But my friend, who is 2 years away from retirement, is in a managed account. Average mutual fund fees could be right around a point. Advisors on the managed account side usually take about a point a year. There's 12B1 fees on the funds of about 25 basis points. And managed account platforms usually start at 50, sometimes go up to 75 basis points. So my friend is probably paying 275 basis points each and every year of being in a managed account, of which she doesn't know what fund she's in. Now, what's the value proposition? I'd say if you're younger and you're further away from retirement, this could be a great growth opportunity. Or maybe the client wants to keep some of their assets here. That old adage, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Maybe you leave some of the assets there and you convert some of it into into a fixed index annuity. But I'd say that somebody who's 2 years away, this just doesn't make sense, paying all this dough to be exposed to the market, knowing that these folks have had the pool drained on them twice with significant bear markets. All right. Now, for your clients who say, you know what, growth and income, let's go. I want both growth and income. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas of using the personal retirement choice where the client has utilized the income rider. And the first strategy I call the doubler. Who wouldn't want to double their guaranteed income over time? And this is a great way to show off the great income and flexibility of personal retirement choice. So, client has $100,000. They put it into personal retirement choice, and they elect the income rider. That's an 85 basis points charge for the income rider. And what we do is we start with a 4% penalty-free withdrawal. All right? So for 8 years, we take out 4% under the penalty-free withdrawal privilege. You've created a 4% income stream. And the client's getting access to the money starting in year 0. And then in the 8th year, when the client turns 76, they say, let's turn on that GMWB. They'd be looking at an $8,029 payout, guaranteed income in perpetuity. That's over 8%. So we've effectively started with 4, and then when they turn on the rider, they're looking at an 8% GMWB, doubled their income. So once again, shows off flexibility. Look, Year 0, you're getting at 4% of your assets. Yeah, there's surrender charges, but there's a liquidity provision. Then number 2, and I'm going to show you we can double your guaranteed income over time. Once again, I just leave you with, who wouldn't want to double their income, protect their assets, and then get at some growth, right? So even though you've taken out all this dough, $4,000 for 8 years, $8,000 for a year, they still have over $90,000 left in the account. Okay, next idea. I know, out in the marketplace, a lot of folks are doing seminars on Social Security, how to plan for it, how to prep for it. So I've come up with a strategy I call S-Cubed, and this is the Social Security Solver. So let's tee this up. We have a client. It's a couple. Husband 65, wife is 62, and they're pulling out guaranteed income through Social Security. It's $2,500 a month or $30,000 a year. Now there's an issue, because at 65, what happens if the husband dies? You have a reduction in Social Security payments to the widow. It goes from $2,500 to the couple down to $1,500 for the widow. That's a shortfall of $1,000. All right, so that's problematic. $1,000 per month, that works out to $12,000 per year shortfall of guaranteed income, and it gets worse. If the widow lives to life expectancy, which is 86 for a 62-year-old female, you've got a huge shortfall over time, $288,000 over the course of her lifetime, missing a guaranteed income because of the death of her husband. So we use personal retirement choice. We have a female, age 62, $275,000. She's elected the income rider, 85 basis points charge. She's going to get at that 15% bonus, so 15% is added to her account on day 1, and then we've put the money into the uncapped 2-year point-to-point on the S&P with a 40% participation. Okay, and by the way, the assets could come from could be proceeds from the life insurance policy that she had on her husband, could be other assets that she has, brokerage money, and what we do is, right, so her issue is, I have this reduction in Social Security. I have a $12,000 per year shortfall. So we put the money into personal retirement choice, and we use our penalty-free each and every year to make up for that Social Security shortfall. And we do that for 8 years. When the widow turns 70, we then turn on the rider. This column is our guaranteed income amount. So this is the GMWB. This is the amount that when she turns it on, she will get in perpetuity. She can live to 130. The market could be down 50. Doesn't matter. She'll get $19,142 for the rest of her life. Okay. 2 observations. Number 1, going from the 12,000 to 19. That's a great move upward. It's not a double, but it's pretty close, right? You've gone from, look, we're going to make up for the shortfall. When you turn on the income, you're going to get $19,000, right? So that's over $7,000 more per year in income. The other point I want to make is even after taking out all this money, and when she turns 70, when she turns that on, it's a 6.9% GMWB. So once again, very, very strong growth story. She'll have $241,700 left after taking out all this money, including that first payment, first GMWB of $19,142. She would have $241,700 left. So great accumulation, equally good income story as well. And in terms of story, we have a great brand new interactive client brochure for you. When I say interactive, we tee up retirement risks. We tee up a discussion about inflation, income risk, market risk. And there's sections in the brochure for your client to fill out information so that you, once again, you can have a dialogue with your client as to what's most important for them. I'm going to take you right now to our Partner Center. I think it's important just to show you this real quickly. Our Partner Center, you can get at our marketing materials. You can get at the client brochure. You can download it. You can print it. You can send it off and email it. We have our quoting tool available here too. So I'm just going to show you, if you guys are the engineering type, this is something that's just so easy to use. Type in your name. Type in your state. maybe you're in Arizona, type in your client's name, type in their age. Here's the product, personal retirement choice. Let's keep it simple. They have $100,000. Do they want the rider? Yes or no? If they select no, instead of 15, they're going to get 12. Okay? But in this case, yeah, I do want the rider. Okay? Now, all those ideas I just shared with you, the penalty freeze, you just do those here. So we're going to say we're going to do 4% each and every year. Let's start that in year 1 through 4. Okay, so that's how you get at those penalty-free withdrawals. And let's do this. Let's use our uncapped strategy. Ooh. And let's see what this looks like. And then so you just enter this information. Just took a minute. And let's generate an illustration. So let's see what the illustration looks like. This is brand new for us. We're really proud of this. We're getting great feedback. It's very clean. Here's all the information on your client. Here are the assumptions. Here are the strategies that we've allocated to. And remember the presentation I shared with you, Anthony, that chart on Anthony? So that was static. This, based on the data that you plugged in, this will be specific to your client. So in this case, their benefit base would have rolled up to $225,400. Their GMWB would be $13,411. That's a 13.41% GMWB. I think Anthony's was 12.3%. So this will be relevant depending on the data that you enter in and specific to your client. Here's the accumulation potential. This is the key column to look at, accumulation value. This is actually my favorite slide right here, or favorite part of the quote is, here's your withdrawals. So we've taken out 4%. When they do turn on the rider in the 5th year, they'd be looking at $7,277. That's a call it 7.3. I'm rounding up. 7.3% GMWB. Here's what's left in the account, $106,197. Remember, they put in 100. Taken out 4%, then they've turned down their rider. So that's how the quoting tool works. Once again, all available through our web portal. All right. So just to conclude, I want to thank you for your time today. This is our product lineup. Remember, let's conclude where we started. 4-corner offense: accumulation, income, personal care, family care. You can have a dialogue with your client as to what's most important for them and kind of point and shoot our product lineup and our strategies based on that need. Personal retirement choice, best bonus product in the marketplace today on an upfront basis. Uncapped strategies that I just shared with you. Exclusive limited distribution. Not everybody on the street has this. Because of your affiliation with AIM, you do have access to this product. Personal income annuity, maximizing income for your clients. And personal protection choice, our combo product that has income, nursing home care, and the best enhanced death benefit in the business today. So this is our sales number. If you want to order marketing materials, obviously, feel free to contact AIM Marketing as well, and I'll let I'll let Mike give you that number. But you can also call us if you want to get literature. You don't need to be contracted with us to, number one, get literature, have somebody run a quote for you, or to get onto our web portal. You don't need to be contracted. You don't need a password at this point in time. And we would invite you to call this number to get more information. Or, Mike, if there's a number for AIM Marketing that you'd like to give out at this point as well, you can do that, and I would encourage you to work with your IMO as a first point of reference. So I want to thank you for your time today. And Mike, why don't I pause? If there's any questions, I'd be happy to address them at this point.
We're going to do that. The number here at AIM, while I unmute everybody, is 800-672-7202. Feel free to give us a call, and of course, we're going to do everything we can to help you out along the way. We did have a question about the product availability in New York.
It is not available in New York.
Okay, well, it's
so New York and Maine.
Right?
Yeah, New York is just notorious. They hate they hate everybody, and they hate specifically GMWBs and GLWBs.
Well, okay. They don't know what they're missing.
Yeah, but if you do have somebody in New Jersey, or somebody may work in New York, or they reside in New Jersey, it is available in New Jersey. We just got that a couple weeks ago.
Great. Give them the website URL again, please,
Sure.
for your website. Here it is. All right. We got everybody unmuted again. If you don't have any questions yourself, please hit *6 so that you'll individually mute yourself. This way we can take questions from any of the folks out there. And that's the website URL right there, correct?
Yes. And Mike, what I can do is after the call, you'll obviously have a list of who was on the call. I'll send you the link,
Okay.
and then you can just pass it to everybody on the call. So it's a little bit long, but this
All right.
this is a little bit unique too. This is a special link. This has once again all of our products that you guys have access to because of your affiliation with AIM. So this is a unique portal.
And Ed will send me the PowerPoint. I'll convert that to slides. Anybody who wants it, you can email me here, mike.anderson at whyAIM.com, whyaim.com. So, all right, so let's take any questions. I know we handled a couple there that came across. Folks are typing them in, but we do have the lines open up, so, don't hesitate to jump in here. I'm going to try to figure out who the offending party is, and got him. All right. That's what happens.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, this is Juliet from New York.
Hi, Juliet from New York.
Hi, I understand that New York is hard to get products in, but I'm surprised. I'm really happy to see this presentation here because I have been trying to find something. Client called me. She lives also in Virginia. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, and I've been looking for something for her. She has a 401k that she wants to put into something that she's only getting 1% now. And I'm looking at this, and I can't believe it. It looks great. But I missed the first half of your presentation. And will this be played again, or can I get your information?
It's available off of the AIM website. You can watch the recorded version. It will be uploaded here later today. So you should have access to it by midday Pacific time.
Okay, and I can access your product information so I could just go over personally for myself, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Thanks
Thank you.
for the question, Juliet. All right, anybody else out there with questions? I know
Bye-bye.
there's plenty of them. I know, Lyle, you had your hand up earlier. Did you have a question, or is there something else?
Okay.
I think they're busy writing applications.
Sounds like it. That's good. That's good. So
no, I really appreciate your time. We've this is a newer product, and I can tell you that it's doing very well for us. It's gone from, well, number one, it's done a couple things. It's highlighted our other products, and I always like to share the the entire platform of products. So it's lifted all boats here at Phoenix because once again, you can kind of point to shoot to the right product for your client. But this new product now represents probably 19-20% of our overall sales. So for us to go from 0 to almost 20% in a brand new product, it's done really well for us. So we're really happy to share this with you, and thank you for your kind comments on the product.
outstanding. One last question here. Is it approved in Maryland?
Let's go to the grid. Actually, you know what I'll do? Let's go to the quoting tool. So we'll go to,
there it is.
we have Maryland approved.
Okay.
It's there.
Perfect. All right, good news. All right, one last solicitation for questions here. Again, Ed, we appreciate you making your time available for us today. Anybody else out there with questions? Otherwise, we're going to let this man go. I'm sure he's got 3 or 4 more webinars he needs to do today. Death benefits and beneficiaries. How do the death benefits work for beneficiaries?
So that's a great question. That's important. So if you go to the quote that I just ran, let me see if I can grab it here. All right. So you would have, say in the case that I just shared with you, the client passes away at this point in time. And this is what is in the, so this is non-guaranteed. So just be clear, this is the illustration of the back testing, right? So if the client died and they have $106,197, that money would be available to the beneficiary. So this is not a SPIA. The money doesn't go to the carrier, and then if the client dies, oh, too bad, you've traded it for the higher income. These assets would go to the beneficiaries. From a tax perspective, as you know, with annuities, it's LIFO, so the gains come out first. Those would be taxed first, and then the return of basis is then next.
All right, great. Thank you for that. One last chance here. Any more questions for Ed? Okay. Well, Crickets tells me that we got it covered. Great job, Ed. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate everybody else for joining us. And again, this has been recorded, or it's being recorded, and it will be available on the whyaim.com website, whyaim.com. You'll be able to find it there within a couple of hours. So with that, we'll close it down. Thanks, everybody.